YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be answering a couple of questions that you've been actually answering me on Instagram relating to Thailand, travelling, how to get in, blah blah blah. If you don't know me, my name is Lucy, my boyfriend is over here, Joe. And we've been travelling Thailand for about almost 2 months now. We're going to be going over to Cambodia, so I feel like I know a little bit about how to get in and stuff like that, obviously because we haven't been travelling. So yeah, I've got a couple of questions on here on my phone. So the first question is, what do you need to get into Thailand?
Say what we had to do.
So there used to be a test and go, then they introduced the Sandbox. The Sandbox system is basically that you stay in a place which is a sandbox area, and you stay there for 7 days, and you're allowed to travel around there for 7 days. We personally stayed in Phuket in Thailand, one of the largest islands in Thailand. We stayed there for 7 days. You take the test, one test when you actually get there, and you wait for the test, and then when once you're waiting, you wait in the hotel. That comes back in like a couple of hours, and then you take a test on the 5th day. So they may introduce that again. I think they have cancelled that now, and they're back with the test and go. The test and go system is that you take a test once when you arrive in Thailand. We could only stay in Phuket, but there's other places now like Krabi, Koh Samui, Phuket, and other little places on there. So yeah, once you actually get into Thailand, you take one test the first day. You just have to wait a couple of hours for it to come back negative, and then you're allowed to travel on. If you are fully vaccinated, you can apply to enter Thailand via the Thailand Pass. That's what the actual thing is called. It's called the Thailand Pass, under the test and Sandbox system. So I think you actually get a choice between the test and go or the Sandbox system. We went for the Sandbox system. We really enjoyed staying in Phuket for a week. There's loads of things to do, and it's kind of like a holiday before actually travelling. You need to be fully vaccinated, and you need to have a vaccination certificate that you get on the NHS app. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you need to actually know exactly where you are staying in Thailand, whether that be Phuket, Krabi, blah, 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 the hotel. I'll sit here because I can put all the images here. It needs to be a Shah Plus hotel. We personally stayed in the Fisherman's Hub Urban Resort, which I put here. It was so good, such a good hotel for such a good price. I think it was £8 per night each. So that's the Shah Plus. You need to actually pay for that as well. So we didn't pay for it, and then we had to go again and like ask them, keep messaging back, can we pay for it, can we pay for it? Because you actually have to show that you paid for the hotel. You need to pay for your test. They ask for our test to show that you actually paid for them and you're ready to take them. And also, oh, you do need travel insurance. Most people get travel insurance anyway, but you do need to get travel insurance, and I think it needs to be over £100,000 worth of travel insurance, but that's really easy to get. You must have been fully vaccinated for at least 14 days before your date travel, and vaccine must be approved by the Ministry of Public Health. You must take a PCR test no more than 72 hours before you leave. A couple of people struggle with that because they may have taken it like even if it was 73 hours, that's too long. It needs to be 72 hours. So make sure you take your test no longer than 72 hours before your exact time that you fly. It needs to be exact, otherwise they will not let you fly. If you're not fully vaccinated, there is a way of getting in, but it's a much harder process. If you are not fully vaccinated, you can enter Thailand under the alternative quarantine system. You have to quarantine, I think it is for about 5 days. It may have changed now, but you do have to quarantine once you get in. So there is a way of coming in, but if you've got like 7 days of quarantine or staying in a quarantine hotel, it may be a bit more expensive as well. Another thing to think about, and another question I did get, is the visa, how much it was, how did you apply for it? We applied for it online before we actually got to Thailand, and it took about 4 to 7 days to get to us, which is okay. So make sure you leave definitely like 2 weeks in advance with the Thailand visa. If you know you're going to be in Thailand for 2 months, apply for the 60-day visa because it's £30. Once you're in Thailand for 30 days, that's free, that's fine. You can apply for that and that will be no money. But then if you do extend, it will be £40. You're paying £10 more. So if you 100% know that you're going to be staying in Thailand for 2 months, it's definitely worth doing it beforehand and doing the 60-day one to £30.
And not only that, the immigration office is full.
Oh yeah, the immigration office is just so full, especially if you're in a place like Bangkok. You could be waiting for 6 hours. We know people have been waiting for that long. You did a picture of you holding your passport with your actual face in it. There were so many documents that you did actually need for the visa. So you need to sit down, make sure you've got everything with you, and make sure you've sorted that all before. Where to find flights? What's the cheapest app to book hotels? So where to find flights is definitely Skyscanner. It is so easy to look at flights, book cheap flights the next day, which we have actually like done a couple of days in advance. We've booked a flight, and they're so cheap. We're getting a flight from Chiang Mai, which is North Thailand, to Bangkok, and that was £17 each. And for booking hotels, I would say booking.com. Booking.com is really good, because once you've booked loads of different hotels on booking.com, it actually boosts up, like you get to different grades. I think we're on grade 2 now, which means we get like a free breakfast with our hotel and stuff like that. And then Agoda we did have a little bit of trouble with. We did book a hotel, I'll put the hotel up here, and then we thought it'd come with breakfast and it didn't, and they made us pay beforehand when we didn't want to, and I find it really hard to follow, so I didn't actually really like that. But you can choose that one. And I think hotels.com is another place. They're for all hotels. And if you're a hostel lover, which we have actually loved staying in hostels, if you're with mates, if you're with 4, you can book a 4-bed dorm, and it's so much cheaper. You can pay like £6 a night for a dorm with breakfast included and stuff like that. It's really good. For hostels, it's called Hostel World. You can get an app and you can book in there. It's so simple, and you actually end up paying at the hotel or the hostel. Going back to the flights, if you can squidge all your stuff into a bag and put it on in the actual aeroplane, it is so much cheaper. Generally, if you're flying about in Thailand, you're going to the Philippines or blah blah blah, and your flight will cost less than your actual baggage. Your baggage can cost like £30 and your flight might be £10. So it's much cheaper if you can get a bag less than 60 litres. My bag is a 60 litre, and I've managed to get it on every single flight, and they haven't asked once. Can I drive a car or scooter? So yes, we're renting a car right now, and we have rented scooters the whole time we've been travelling. As long as you've got an international permit, you can get an international permit in any post office. In Chelmsford, for anyone living in Chelmsford, the WH Smith's just above there, you can get one for £5. All you need is your little photo card, like, you know, the photo of your face, and it was £5, so it's really worth it. Just in case you do get a scooter, you will get stopped, especially Phuket is really renowned for that. We did get stopped a couple of times, and obviously your driving licence. And as long as you've got that, then you're absolutely fine. A scooter can cost around 200 baht, which is like £4, £5 to rent a scooter a day. We've known some places that are 100 baht, so it's literally £2 a day to get a scooter, so it's definitely the cheapest way to get around. So I would say it's definitely worth £5 to get the international driving licence, and you could be driving a scooter, and it's so easy. How is Thailand after Covid? We're in March 2022 now. Half of the shops are unfortunately closed, maybe like 40%. It really does depend on where you go. If you're going to Phuket, which is really busy, really touristy, everything was open, it was really busy every single night, that stuff like that. But if you're in Chiang Mai, Koh Lanta and Koh Samui was very quiet. Even the busiest street, it was practically dead, and I would say literally 70% of the shops were closed. So unfortunately, some places are really quiet and closed and blah, but some places are really busy, so it really does depend on where you're going. We have met so many people, so I wouldn't say, oh, like, let's give it another year. It's definitely worth travelling right now, but unfortunately some places are closed, and sometimes it does get a little bit eerie because there's no people. Like, we might go to a waterfall that's like famous, and we're like, oh, it's gonna be busy, like, and there's no one there. I think it's the best time to travel because we get to see so many things. What sort of clothes should I bring? What is the weather like in certain times of the year? So there is a rainy season in Thailand and like all down Southeast Asia, and I think the rainy season is August, September, October, November. That's the rainy season. That's when you don't want to be in Thailand because I think it literally rains every single day. And also a little bit of the beginning of the year, so January, February, March. I think we've just come out of rainy season. It has been raining a couple of times, definitely in the south of Thailand. When we was in February, it was raining maybe like every other day, wasn't it, Joe? Yeah. And certainly cloudy. Like, we didn't see a nice sunset for ages. The hottest time in Thailand is April, May, June, July. Those are the hottest times. June in Bali is going to be lovely. Like, if you're thinking about going to Bali, June is the hottest time. So nice. It rarely rains. That's like the best time.
And we'll be there.
And we'll be there, yeah. Clothes sort of things, I'd say bring so many pairs of shorts. Like, I've got these shorts, soft shorts. I only brought like one pair, and I wish I brought so many. So many shorts, so many little tops like this, because you can bring loads and it doesn't weigh lots. If you're a boy Joe, what would you say that you love the most?
Swimming trunks.
Swimming trunks.
Are shorts.
Oh yes.
Swimming trunks are shorts, swimming trunks are going out, swimming trunks
yeah. Swimming trunks for boys. Joe wears his swimming trunks everywhere, just in case you're going to the pool, just in case you see. If you bring loads of them, you can just wear them out in the day. He even wears them sometimes at night, because everyone just wears whatever they want. It's travelling, no one cares. So just bring loads of them. Swimming costumes. I only brought 4 swimming costumes, and I'm going to buy some today, hopefully, or in the next couple of days. But I only brought 4, and I wish I brought more. So if you just do a quick little shop on Shein and get like 5 different swimsuits, because it really doesn't weigh a lot, does it? And I wish I brought loads. One more thing, I'd say cover-ups, because when you're going to all the temples and stuff, you need a lot of cover-ups. Get like a white shirt or like some white trousers.
I wouldn't say white.
All of white clothes go yellow in the sun, and when it's quite dirty as well, or when you're on the bikes, and like it's all gone to crap. So I would say loads of colourful clothes. Like if you had like a green shirt or like some yellow long pants and stuff like that, I wish I brought a lot of that as well. So the last question I've got, and the last question I'll do, is about money. I've had so many questions about money, like what do I budget, like what do I do with money, how much do I need to save. Of course, everything is different for everyone. Like you could spend £10 a day, or you could spend £30 a day, or you can spend £100 a day. So it really does depend on you. Us, for ourselves, we've got a budget of £30 a day each. A lot of people said like, oh, like that I think that's a good amount. Like we managed to do everything that we want to do within that £30. That includes flights, accommodation, any travelling, like the car rental, scooter rental, absolutely everything.
We even done scuba diving last month, included in our,
and that was £200.
Yeah.
So what we do is we take out in cash the amount of money that we have for the day, and then what we don't use in that day we will put into savings. That allows us to build up our savings, so then when we want to do something like scuba diving, which costs £200, we can take that out of our savings and our day money, and we haven't spent any more money than we should. And £35 a day does equal to around about £1,000 a month. So if you're travelling 6 months, 6k to be safe is what you should, I would say, you should really be saving. Again, that is different to everyone. If you're spending £10 a day, which I think would be a bit hard, but I've heard people say they did do that, yeah. They wouldn't be doing much, they'd literally be staying in the hotel and eating crackers. I don't really know what they'd be doing. In Thailand it is called baht or bar, and 45 baht is around £1. So it's really cheap. You'll go around the markets and you'll find a mango smoothie for 40 baht, so it'd be like £1.
When you're in the markets and everything, it's so funny because like there'll be something for like 500 baht,
yeah.
And you'll be like, no way am I paying that. But if you're at home, it's like, yeah. Oh yeah, it's only a tenner.
It's only a tenner, I'll definitely get that. But if you're here, I see anything for 500 baht, I'm like,
yes.
Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, please do give me a like and subscribe. If you've got any more questions, I love doing videos like this. I love doing sit-down videos and answering questions and stuff. I think another sit-down video that I will do is what we actually did, how we travelled Thailand, where we went, where I think you shouldn't go. When we finish Thailand in about 2 weeks, I think I'm going to do that video. So if that is something that you're interested in, please do comment down below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye. Whoa.